Hey up, I'm Guy Kestivan, the Tester Man, and this is part 2 of my Road to Roadfinder Pashley all-road bike build-up series. So, this is Andy Smallwood, who you met in for part 1, CEO of Pashley here in Stratford-on-Avon in England. We've gone through the whole bike build process. You've talked us through that from tube set through fabrication to powder coating, and we saw, you know, the complete bikes being built.
Yep.
But in this instance, I'm lucky enough that your team are going to build up this Roadfinder frame for a custom bike build,
Yep.
showcasing some of the latest products that I can't even tell you about yet. So, Andy, over to you to talk us through the frame. But I think one point to make straight away is this is not a complete production frame, isn't it?
No, it's
there's a couple of details on it
frame
that you'll bring up, but it's your. So now, why am I talking about it, Andy? what is the Roadfinder X?
Okay, so the Roadfinder frame is a platform which has been designed and developed as a do-it-all off-road kind of bike. So it's a bike where the geometry, it's a super versatile geometry, super versatile in terms of tyre clearances. You can go from all the way up to a 45C gravel tyre. You can put a 35C tyre with mud guards on it, or go down to a 28C tyre with deep sections on it, and it can almost be a race bike.
Yeah.
So it's super versatile.
So geometry slightly more relaxed than a standard road bike,
slightly more relaxed, slightly more higher at the front end as well. So it's a bit more of a relaxed geometry, a bit more like ready for long distances, and rather than the pure kind of race geometry.
Yeah. So an absolute classic. I mean, I guess it's what would have been called a clubman in some ways in road terms, but with that added off-road capability.
Yeah, absolutely right. So I've got one of these in exactly this colour, and in the summer I ride it with either a 35C tyre with a deep section carbon wheel on it. If the weather's good like it is right now, it's dusty dry on the trails. If it's a bit muddier, I'll stick a 45C gravel tyre on it. If I'm up for a bit of a kind of like Sunday morning spin with the lads in the village, I'll probably put a set of 28s on it with it, or 32s on it with a deep section wheel, and I'm keeping up with the best of the best on the road as well. So
it's that classic quiver killer. To use that. I don't think that gets used much anymore.
One bike does it all.
Yeah, we kind of went through N+1, and I think now we're, in James Huang's words, we're going back to N-1.
Exactly.
Where we're just getting more bikes that can do more.
Yeah, that's right.
And again, this, in true Pashley style, this is a real blend of traditional sort of materials, but very modern technology.
Absolutely right, yeah. Yeah, so all the way from, it's the core ingredients are, it's a Reynolds 853 tube set. It's got 3D printed elements to it as well. So we've got some 3D printing. We use stainless steel 3D printing, which is then fabricated into with the Reynolds 853 tubing. For example, this lug here is actually 3D printed, and there's actually a TIG welded joint here that's double passed and then smoothed off. So it's that's two pieces here.
Utterly seamless, isn't it? I mean, there's not even a sign of it in the paint there.
No, not at all. And then to make sure we keep the temperature at the right level, we actually then silver solder around this joint here.
And that's an expensive gig. That is, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the solder alone is very expensive because it's a relatively high silver content as well as required.
And that's just because it melts at a lower temperature.
Correct. Yeah, keeps it at a lower temperature, which means we don't get any deformation, etc. Because you've got quite a lot going on here. So yeah, it keeps it nice and kind of cool and makes sure we're not kind of.
So that's a totally modern technology.
Yes.
But with a real classic look. I mean, it's not quite fastback, but that blending.
Yeah.
And again, you know, I think a lot of people would look at that and presumed it's something like carbon. Just the flow of that.
Yeah.
It gives it kind of transmaterial. I don't know if that's a phrase, but I'm going to use it anyway.
Yeah.
It really does kind of go beyond what you expect. And so an 853, there's a story there with Pashley and Reynolds. Yeah. I mean, again, very close. I mean, literally just up the road. You definitely help them develop, you know, kind of keep 531 on the books with other projects. And, you know, 853 is their top. Is their air hardening tube set? Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, yeah. So for us, I mean, we've used Reynolds extensively for many, many years. And as you say, we've used 531 across many of our consumer products over the years. Our classic range predominantly uses 531, and we actually kept 531 going for, or brought it back actually through our classics range a few years ago. So yeah, very long history with Reynolds. And again, as you say, very locally sourced. and it means we work very closely with them from a development point of view. So yeah, it's a very good partner of ours.
Yeah, and again, a great sustainability angle.
Absolutely.
Because you've got some companies shipping Reynolds tubing from Birmingham to the other side of the world to get it built into bikes, which are then shipped back here to be assembled.
Yeah.
Whereas Pashley is a true made in Britain from tube set to completely built bikes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's like 4 metre tubing in 4 metre lengths through the back door and a beautiful handcrafted British bike out the front door. So yeah, it's definitely a genuine story there.
And we've talked about the 3D printing on the seat cluster there.
Yeah.
We've got 3D printing on the cable guides as well.
All
and that's
cable
another
guides.
custom piece, yeah?
Yeah, correct, yeah. All the 3D printed, designed in-house. Yeah, and we have complete flexibility. So if a rider wants to have either fully electronic, by no cable guides, we can do that. If they want cable guides for the mechanical gear routing, we can
so
do that.
where would you do that in the process? Is that in the buying process?
Yeah.
So the bikes are essentially built to order, aren't they?
Correct. Everything's bespoke, built to order. So
Right.
Yeah. So if you want a slight tweak to it, a slight change to it, you
Yeah.
don't like the colour, then yeah, you have complete control over all those.
Wow.
those
And
elements as well.
I presume there's some slight additional cost to that, or...
It depends on what you want.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean things like
Okay.
cable guides, that kind of thing. Then
See, that's not the answer I was
additional
expecting. I was
cost.
like, well, yes, obviously that, But again, just
Yeah.
that willingness to accommodate
Yeah.
that, but then you've got that flexibility.
Well,
We've
beauty-
talked before that you can literally have an idea on a weekend and you're riding it by Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as I'm probably a bit of a pain to the design team, we'll be out riding on a Monday, on a weekend. I'll come in on a Monday and we'll have a design meeting on a Monday morning, and we'll have an idea for a bike. And by Monday afternoon, we're already CADing up the design, and then by Tuesday we've started to pull a prototype together. By Thursday we can have a rideable sample. By the next following weekend we're coming out testing it. That's the beauty of that.
Wow.
That's how fast we can work here at Pashley.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have even managed to get your drawings confirmed and signed off if you're working with Far Eastern companies.
Yeah.
And there's more to talk about, I believe, down in the bottom bracket area. I mean, that's front neck mount there. That's beautiful.
So again, 3D printed stainless steel. Yeah, and it's raw. Yeah. So yeah, that's all done in house, all designed in house. So 3D print elements is the lug here, the front neck hanger, all the guides there. They're all 3D printed. The rear dropouts are as well.
UDH.
Yeah, UDH. Yes.
So there we go. We've got a classic steel frame with the latest dropout standard
Correct.
on it.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this. Am I correct in thinking this on the production bikes will be totally smoothed out?
Correct. So this will be just like the join on the top tube there on production. So yeah, this is a pre-production bike where we do one of our samples that we're looking at today.
Yeah. And the bottom bracket looks larger than normal.
T47. Yeah. So yeah, T47 gives us more options and also enables us to have internal cable routing. So within a steel frame. And what we also do is on the bottom bracket itself, we also
doing the Debbie McGee glamorous assistant there.
So this sleeve here, this is a standard sleeve actually on this bottom bracket, but what we do is we actually 3D print an alternative sleeve in-house, which we then use, which enables us to have much better alignment of the cable for our internal cable routing. So so that's the...
So it just keeps them under the belly of the bottom bracket.
Correct.
Rather than rubbing against it. I think people saw my Mason macro build-up. I ended up having to use a zip tie to keep the cables off the axle on there.
Yep.
But there we go. And painted as well in-house, yeah?
Yeah.
So literally handcrafted in Stratford upon Avon, UK.
Yes, absolutely right.
From pipe to paint.
Yep.
All the way through the process. I mean, it is a glorious looking thing. And this is the Roadfinder X, correct? Or is that just a build thing?
Yeah.
Are all Roadfinder frames the same?
They are, yes. It's all off the same platform. So
Right.
Roadfinder in its general Roadfinder form is our road builds, and the Roadfinder X will be our gravel build.
Right, but they all have the same. They all have the same frame clearances and stuff like that, frame geometry.
Exactly the same frame.
The X is just a different set of build kits,
Correct.
essentially.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic.
So we also do it in electric and non-electric versions as well. So if anybody wants a little bit of assistance, then you get exactly the same versatility, but with some electric assistance as well. So yeah, super versatile and yeah.
Fantastic. I think that's probably the only bit. I'm just holding the fork there. That's the only bit that you don't make in-house.
We don't know, we don't. So we very carefully source and select a carbon fork to go with the bike. It's actually a Columbus carbon fork. So a full carbon fork. Got a flip chip as well. So road versus off-road, all depends on what kind of geometry and what kind of ride feel you want.
Okay, to change the trail.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, multiple mounts as well. So you've got a complete flexibility from a rack point of view. And yeah, so yeah, it all adds to the incredible versatility of the bike.
Yeah. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we're very, very proud of what we've done and what we've achieved here. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is kind of the first, this is one of the first. You're saying, you know, the bikes like this have really happened within the last 12 months, really.
Yeah.
You've gone from being that very traditional utility bike provider,
Yeah.
you know, like say sort of tricycles from the earliest rides to the last.
Yeah.
And you know, postal and industrial bikes and things like that, which is kind of your history and the classic sit up and beg stuff.
Yeah.
But now you're really echoing that Pashley history of innovation. Because you talked about that at the start, but with you know, you were the first brand to use hydraulic brakes.
Yes.
You're one of the first brands to use non-lugged construction.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, whether that's
right.
TIGGed or whether it's fillet. You know, again, but people don't quite realise it because it was appearing on quite utilitarian bikes.
Yeah, we've developed very, really innovative, really well designed bike share bikes. We've got a really innovative cargo tricycle that tilts. So over the years, we've developed some really innovative products. We've got an amazing design team here. We've got an amazing craftsmen who have been manufacturing and building bikes and handcrafting bikes for many, many years. So we thought, well, let's take all those ingredients, all that skill set, all those years of experience, and let's put it into a very, very well designed, handcrafted bike that many cyclists can enjoy. Yeah.
And you even you make bikes for other people as well. So I'm sorry, I've dropped this on Andy. He's not going to tell you who, but I have seen some absolutely beautiful work being done.
Yeah.
On some bike for other people here, but
when you're making a handcrafted, when your artisans making handcrafted bicycles, people do come to us and say, look, could you make this for us? And sometimes we'll say yes, if it's the right brand and if it's that
but the standard, I saw it being welded. Good God, it's glorious. It's a beautiful looking thing, and yet it's you that's doing it. It's currently quite, you really are kind of, I guess, keeping your light under a bushel, to use the old phrase. I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what a bushel is anymore. But I think it's fair to say we'll be seeing more of Pashley, I think. Yeah. Hopefully, in terms of getting the recognition it deserves for that innovation. And bikes like this Roadfinder are just the first step.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. Not just within the kind of your performance-orientated product, but also within our classics and kind of more general, kind of like a leisure type commute, kind of general kind of product. There's a lot more to come there as well. So a lot more to come for Pashley, as we really want to push the boundaries of what we can do and really continue to drive forward from a quality point of view, design perspective, push the innovation, and really give more cyclists a beautiful, handcrafted British product.
Well, that sounds like a thoroughly splendid idea. Right, thanks, Andy. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for talking us through the bike. I'm actually just going to do some little close-up footage now of the details on the bike. So I'll just say to Andy, thanks very much for having us here.
Thanks, Gary.
This has been part 2. Make sure you watch part 1. So obviously that we go through the whole factory tour. We meet the people behind the bikes. We see the processes that, as I keep repeating, take this from tube to finished, beautiful frame set. And then we'll have 2 build phases as well.
Yep.
The one which I can show you now, which is, again, it's based on your standard Roadfinder build.
Yes.
I won't give anything away, but people will watch that being put together by the team here. And then as the final flourish of the build, we'll have some as yet unreleased kit going on the bike, which is something you will be offering going forward. Correct. But for now, it'll be a big reveal when it comes out. And then, of course, the most important thing, which I'm most excited, although I've loved coming here, I'm really excited about getting on the bike myself and getting some miles in.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Great.
Cheers, Chief.
Thanks, Guy.
Thanks a lot. Right, so I've sent Andy off because he's got a company to run, but I just want to talk you through, just get a real close-up of some of these details. So we've got that Pashley head badge there, made in the West Midlands since 1926. We've got that 3D printed cable guide there, top tube gas tank bag mounts. We've got 3 bottle cage mounts there, double on the seat tube. You've got that removable front mech mount or bottle opener mount, depending what you want. DI2, belly mounts, routing with a little screw-in metal holder there for the dropper post if you use one. You've got that T47 bottom bracket, all fully corrosion proofed on the inside there. Got a beautiful little butterfly bridge on these hand profiled hand bent chainstays there. Again, fully internal routing, just popping out there for the rear brake. Flat mount. And again, these are the welds that will be completely smoothed down on production bikes. Little eyelet there for your rear rack or your mud guards. Pop out there again for cable or for Di2. UDH mount, so bang up to date with the latest SRAM. Monogrammed, 3D printed. Dropouts there, and then up to this proper pièce. I mean, this is the beautiful bit of the bike. This kind of, I don't know, what do you call it, a trouser lug? Just the way that that's silver soldered around that seat tube. That's just absolutely beautiful. And that weld, utterly, utterly seamless. And then that super evocative retro Reynolds 853 air hardened butted tubing sticker on there. I mean, I can remember cutting those stickers out of the Reynolds catalogue, which I'd got from the Cycling Tourist Club show on York Knavesmire, and sellotaping them onto my old rally, trying to convince people I had a thoroughbred bike, not the best I could afford from Bob Trotter's. And now, in part 3, we've not only see this bike and its brothers come to life here in Stratford-on-Avon, and I'll talk through the frame, but in part 3, we'll be beginning the Road to Roadfinder bike build. And that's going to be done with a standard Pashley kit by Luke here at Pashley. So make sure you jump straight into that video. We can have a cup of tea and a biscuit. I'll let you maybe go to the loo. And then we'll join Luke building this bike up before the final phase of the build, where I add some proper top secret stuff, which I can't talk about just yet. And then part 5, we'll go for a ride on it. I mean, how good is this? Following that full story, literally from pipe to bike ride. This is such a great opportunity. Huge thanks to Pashley for letting me create this project. But for now, click for notifications so you don't miss any of those. Subscribe so YouTube know you likes it. Give it a thumbs up like so other people know you like it. Tell your mates about the channel. Hopefully they'll want to get involved. And if you really want to support me, then please consider pledging on Patreon with a small monthly donation that really helps fund the channel and gets you early exclusive edits without adverts. But for now, this is me talking through the Roadfinder frame with Andy Smallwood. And now it's on to the build with Luke. Cheers.